So the American Sleep Apnea Association estimates that about a third of Americans just do not get a good night's sleep.
There's a lot of solutions out there, among them some over-the-counter supplements. Dr. Eric Yeh from University Hospitals joining us back again. How to explain if they truly work and there are other options to consider. Great to see you again. Thank you. We've been taping our mouths at night sometimes.
Yes, if you missed that segment, it was quite compelling.
Yeah, and
yeah, thanks for having me back.
Sure. Oh, you're amazing. All right, let's talk about, you brought along too a lot of supplements. A lot of people need that help. I mean, let's talk about a third of people do not get a good night's sleep. It's something we all need, and we all need to do. I, for one, I just was telling him over commercial, I've never been a good sleeper, even as a child. So it's a thing that people have to work at.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's funny how you mentioned 1/3 because technically we spend 1/3 of our life sleeping. So, you know, and then quite honestly, I believe it may be more than 1/3 of people who have problems with sleeping. However, the 1/3 of people are probably suffering and more chronically than more of a one-off type of thing.
Yeah, it doesn't come naturally for everyone to sleep.
No, when you talk about, so what's the difference between like a medication and a supplement? Like what is prescribed versus what you can buy over the counter, those kind of things?
So technically, medication and supplement, the biggest difference is the FDA regulation, right? So supplement has a lot less rigid regulation in terms of the testing and things that you need to submit, whether it's a prescription medication versus over-the-counter medications. All the ones that I brought over is the ones that I picked it up from Walgreens on my way here. You know, so I mean, they're over-the-counter, but they are medications versus supplements. It just depends on the FDA regulation rules.
So we're looking at some now. Are these ones that you suggest that people maybe try if they feel like they're having a time struggling with sleep?
So technically in American Academy of Sleep Medicine, in their guidelines about insomnia, medication is actually not the first line treatment, especially if you're someone who suffers insomnia chronically. So behavioral therapy, we call it cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, that is the first line therapy.
Which is what?
So basically, the most basic part about cognitive behavioral therapy is about your sleep habits, you know, about what you do around your bedtime, about what you do leading up to bedtime, about how you prepare yourself to be ready to hear what your body is trying to tell you. The whispers that I'm about to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep.
Todd's body was telling him at 6 p.m. last night, go to bed.
And I did. I
I mean, you have to listen to that.
But what is a good sleep routine for people? Like, what would you recommend for the average person?
For the average person, I would say, you know, at least minimum of 30 to 45-minute wind down, you know. Some people may not need it at all. They could be watching TV, swiping their phone, they put it away, they're gone. That's good. You know, we're not here to change people's lives. But if you're here having some problems, then that will be what I recommend. An hour before your bedtime, even an hour and a half, no more electronics. Just a lot of, not just even blue lights, it's the information that's feeding into you. So those are the ones that I will say, hey, no more electronics, and then don't go into bed yet, right? You go into bed only for sleep and intimacy. That's what we call it, right? So you wait until you really feel drowsy, really feel the sleepy buckets coming at you, and then that's when you go to bed. So what do you do in between that 45 minutes to 60 minutes? Books are really good.
Books are good. That can make you tired. Also, like I have a fan, I have a sound machine. They say to keep your bedroom nice and cool, that you sleep. Are those all good things too?
Yeah, nice and cool, dark, you know. I would say temperature surprisingly actually really helps and really makes a big difference, you know. So keeping it more like 70, 69, that's probably a very sweet spot for a lot of people. And obviously everybody is different, but more on the cooler side definitely helps.
We just got about 30 seconds. Are there any of these that you wouldn't recommend for people or recommend a different usage for? I know we talked melatonin a little bit. But
I mean, I would say these things, especially the over-the-counter medications, you know, most of them is with added Benadryl in there. So I would not recommend taking it just daily basis. You know, once in a while, I don't have a problem with that.
And sometimes people wake up groggy then when they take this stuff. When do you know these are not working for you and you might need to talk with a doctor to get a prescription for like a Lunesta or Ambien or...
I would say if these kind of things are happening more frequently, more than 3 times a week, you know, you definitely should come to see one of us and then really figure out what might be the root cause of it. Like you said, you might be anxiety before work. Who knows?
Dr. Yeh, thank you so much. Always great to see you. We appreciate the information. We'll see you again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's coming back.
We need you here every week to talk about this stuff. It's so
important.
good.
And good luck. You're going to be doing some conferences and learning some more about this too.
Right. And then so today's the last day of my daughters in middle school. So Violet, Congratulations.
Nice.
Yay,
Congrats, Violet.
congratulations. Well, you guys do a great job at UH, and you have a sleep clinic, so people can really see these experts and learn so much as you break it all down.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many different aspects. Some people have trouble falling asleep. Some people wake up and then can't get back to bed. So there's so many different avenues of all of this.
Right, sleep onset, sleep maintenance. Come see us. We're here
All
to
right.
help.
Thank
Thank you, Dr. Ye.